All right, welcome to the LinkedIn Organic Outreach Training. How to reliably get 3 to 4 clients per month or more in just 30 minutes per day. I am super excited to bring this to you. It's been a few more days, but I've been trying to make this training awesome, and I know you're going to get a lot out of it. So I'm going to teach you this by showing you the 5 pillars of LinkedIn Organic Outreach Dominance. These are the key to achieving a steady stream of leads and growing your business without ads. So, quick introduction here. Who am I? In case you don't know, I'm this handsome devil here sitting on a balcony somewhere in Croatia in this picture, staring off into the distance like some kind of philosopher guy. My name is Ben Byrne, and I'm an expert at lead generation using organic methods. And I'm also a copywriter and a creator of the E5 email marketing system, which is an email copywriting course. And I also currently advise actually a couple hundred consultants on how to grow their business and sell high ticket offers, mainly using LinkedIn and one of our consulting mastermind groups. Okay, so over the past 6 months, maybe a bit longer now, I've been working really hard to develop a kind of foolproof system for reliably generating clients from LinkedIn. And so far, it's not only worked to help me personally book between 3 to 8 sales calls a week, but I've also helped others scale their business to 5 figures a month using this method. We have about 3 people right now who've already hit 5 figures a month, which is pretty awesome. So here's one of them. This is Tim Benson. He's gone on to add 39 clients since making this post. He came to us with 0, and then he hit 15K a month pretty damn fast in his business. And at 39, I'm not even sure what he's doing now, but he's making good money. And in this little post here that he commented in our email group, you can actually see he's doing the bare minimum, just 5 cold emails a day and 5 LinkedIn cold outreach messages a day. That's pretty low, and he's still having success because the stuff works. Okay, so here's what you're going to learn during this presentation. I'm going to teach you the 4-part organic marketing strategy we're currently using to land our clients. And then I'm just going to show you how to optimize your profile to attract your ideal client, and how to create content for your niche that drives people to connect with you and establishes you as the authority, and what to say and do to get your prospects off of LinkedIn and onto a sales call with you where they ultimately become your client, and the 2-step LinkedIn funnel that turns strangers into clients. Then finally, we're just going to cover some softwares which you can use to make this super easy, and it saves you a lot of time so you're not on here all day. And this is really good how you're going to do this all in just 30 minutes a day. All right, so who's this for? Real quick, if you're a consultant, a coach, a financial professional like a financial advisor or a planner kind of thing, accountant, or a service provider, this is for you. And if your offer can help people solve a major business problem, like this is definitely for you. And if your offer is also around helping people like lose weight or personal development, then this can also help you too. And here's why this is important to you right now. The way most people use LinkedIn is dead wrong. So if you feel like your niche is on LinkedIn, but you're having trouble getting their attention, this will really help you. And if you don't have a large budget for ads, no time for direct outreach, or you're just looking for best practices to use LinkedIn effectively, this training again is really going to help you. So here are the advantages of LinkedIn organic outreach. So there are 3 main ones when it comes to LinkedIn for organic outreach, and those are, the first one is very low tech. It's super simple to use and understand this system. You don't have to make a crazy 50-part funnel. You don't have to do ads. You don't have to make any automations or write emails, although you can. You can actually do all this stuff. But this method, the primary method, is super low tech. And it's extremely inexpensive compared to Facebook or Google ads or even lumpy mail. And it's dependable. So right now, almost regardless of your niche, I'm willing to bet there are quite literally tens of thousands or more of your ideal client waiting to be connected with. Okay, so here's just 2 quick rules for you. So no fake experts. The results in this presentation aren't typical. My clients are dedicated and they work their butts off. So if you watch this and you just hope you can do nothing, get incredible results, this is not the video for you. This training requires work every day, and when I say fake experts, I mean it in 2 ways. Like I am not a fake expert. This actually works. I have people I have literally a ton of people who are telling me every day how many clients are getting. But more importantly, if you are a fake expert, it probably won't work for you. So hopefully you are good at what you do, and you're not going to screw over people. And hopefully, I don't even, I shouldn't even have to kind of mention this, but I don't know, I still do. Okay, so the second part is get ready to learn. So make sure you grab a pen and piece of paper and your favorite beverage. Right now I have green tea and some water, which is my go-to. And put away your cell phone. Close all the tabs on your computer. Turn off your TV. Shut off Netflix. Close the door. Put your cell phone on airplane mode. Whatever. I'm actually going to cover a lot of stuff in this information. In this presentation. All right. So why LinkedIn again? I used to be 100% against LinkedIn. I thought it was absolutely useless. I thought people only use it as a virtual resume and nobody actually checks it. That's basically because that's how I use it. And even though the numbers say it has a higher net worth user base than any other social media, I still didn't buy in. But that was all until my friend and now business partner showed me what he was doing to make LinkedIn work for him, which is basically what I'm going to cover in this presentation and a bit more. Okay, so I decided to give it a try, and since then I've been consistently getting on sales calls and closing clients with my main business, Affluent Attraction, where we do consulting for financial advisors, planners, and wealth managers. To be 100% honest, it does take a little while to build momentum on LinkedIn, especially if you're brand new to a platform. Excuse me. So where you have Facebook, for example, you can run ads and get results immediately. LinkedIn does take a little while because you have to reach out to people every day. And like I said, it builds momentum. So yeah, you have to take time to grow your network, tailor your profile, and create content. So that's what we're going to cover. So here are the 5 pillars of LinkedIn organic domination. So the first one's niche offer match. The second one is LinkedIn organic outreach strategy in the funnel. The third is your LinkedIn profile. The fourth is creating content. The fifth is connecting and messaging with people. All right. So let's dive into the niche offer match. This is what everyone must do before diving headfirst into LinkedIn. It's literally the prerequisites for LinkedIn success. So before we dive into the main LinkedIn stuff, this is the fundamentals, and you have to complete your niche in your offer. So by now you should already know kind of who your target market is, and you should already know a lot about them. You should already have done your research. And this means you know their pain points, and you have created an offer which you believe will help them solve that. So if you haven't done this, I'll briefly cover this process so you won't get stuck, because I know a lot of people kind of actually do get stuck on this and kind of skip over it. So let's talk about formulating your niche and offer. So in order to stand out on LinkedIn and have any sort of success, you're going to have to select one niche and really narrow your focus to serving only them. You want to find out what makes them tick. What are their pains and problems? What are their goals? And where would they like to be in their business or life? So if you have multiple services you can offer, figure out which one will solve their problem the fastest and with the least amount of work on your part. Okay, so this is something a lot of people get caught up on, is they go and just start serving or offering everything. Say you know a lot about digital marketing, so you could say, oh, I'm going to offer Facebook ads, or I'm going to do these packages where I do like the website and Facebook ads and emails and Instagram and social media marketing and SEO and Google ads, and it's ridiculous. Okay, so you figure out which one's going to solve your niche's problem the fastest, and which one can you basically do it with the least amount of work on your part so you can scale your business while still providing the value to them. So why niche down, you might say? So if you just work with anybody with a pulse and you offer a plethora of services like I just mentioned, the system is really not going to help you. So you want to become a specialist. So when someone sees your profile and reads your messages and content, it needs to make the hair stick up on the back of their neck. And they need to think, wow, this is for me. Like, I have to contact this person. So in the beginning, you basically want to create a hypothesis, like a scientist about to run an experiment and test it out. So here's what I mean by that. So let's say you come to me as one of my financial advising clients looking for advice on your niche. Right now, let's say you serve 3 niches. You serve the retirement niche, and then also young professionals who want to do sustainable investing, whatever that is. And then you might also serve small business owners. So what you want to do is select one of these niches and go all in. So initially, a lot of people resist this because they feel like they're losing on a business. I know I did. But the truth is it doesn't matter because you can always switch later after your testing period's over, which might be, let's call it 2 to 3 months. But if you are concerned, you can always create a second LinkedIn profile to test this, which some people go ahead and do because they're just so afraid of niching down. So let's talk about research. If you're entering a brand new niche, now is the time to do the research. So you want to find out everything about them until you can, okay, Google, screw off, until you can write a day in their diary and have them think you're reading their minds. That's my goal, at least. And the hands down best way to do research is by jumping on the phone with the people and trying to sell them something. Okay? That's what I always recommend. Some people are like, oh, like they get caught up on this research process. Like, try to sell them something and see what they say. What are their objections? What are they interested in? Actually go through the strategy sessions with them, which we're going to cover. And that's how you get so much great information, okay? And other than that, though, you can use books, podcasts, Facebook groups. You can go on Twitter, you can go on Reddit, you can check out magazines they read, you can check out the trade journals in their industry, blogs, or especially forums to get more information about them. So those things all work too. So, okay, let's just dive right into the main training now on LinkedIn stuff, which I'm sure that's why you're here. I'm going to have a quick sip of water. Getting a little parched. I spilled everywhere. Oh God, this is embarrassing. Anyway, pillar number 2, the 4-part organic lead generation strategy. So I'm going to show you this from like a high level view, okay? But when you know what to do every day to bring in sales, business is easy. It's people start freaking out when basically they don't know what to do. And that's when you get shiny object syndrome, and that's when you get overwhelmed. But when you know every day, I can go on LinkedIn, I do this, and this, and this is going to get me X amount of sales per week. It adds a lot of stability to your mind and your business. Okay, so here's what we're currently doing to attract clients via LinkedIn. So everything we do revolves around 2 things, really 3 things. The first is generating strategy sessions, aka sales calls. The second is performing these strategy sessions to close new clients. And although I didn't write it here, the third would be to actually perform the services that we sold to these clients. Okay, so here's the 4-part LinkedIn strategy. So the first part is connecting with and messaging our ideal clients. The second part is creating content to engage them, to agitate them and drive them into our funnel, which is either a value video or a 15-minute discovery call. Again, I'm going to cover all these a bit more. And the value video 2-step funnel is the actual funnel itself. And again, I'll explain that in a second. And then finally, the discovery call and strategy sessions. So here's how that looks from a high level. So on the left here, we have connect and message or create content. So these are 2 ways that people are getting pushed into your system, where they're either going to watch your value video and then get on a discovery call, or they're going to get on the discovery call and then watch your value video. And the whole purpose is to get people on a strategy session. And that's where you have the opportunity to see if they're a good fit for you and then close them and they become a client. So this is basically what we all do. So value video, just so you know, value video and discovery call here, even though in this process, it looks like value video comes before discovery call, these are interchangeable, okay? If you don't have a value video, you can just do discovery calls. So here's how the 2-step funnel works. And so far, this funnel has worked the best for taking someone who has no idea who you are and getting them hot for your service. So you create the value video, which again, I'm going to go into. You send people from your LinkedIn profile to your value video page. They opt in, they watch the video, and then they're redirected to a scheduling page with a survey where you can ask them a few questions about their business or about any questions that are relevant to your offer. And then you can also include an email follow-up sequence on the back end that pushes them to book a call with you and gives case studies if you want. So what is a value video? A value video generally promises to help your prospects solve a painful problem, and a good way to position these is either a case study or a training. In that video, you start off by talking about the problems they're facing currently, and then you give them 2 to 3 steps or tips to help them solve that problem. That's a very common way to do it. If it's like a training, there's a old copywriting formula called PAS. So it's problem, agitate, solve. Basically, that's what you can follow for your value video. At the end, you basically can say, hey, I've opened up some room in my schedule to help you solve this issue, and this is only for my LinkedIn connections. So click the button below this or go to this link and book your spot today, and I look forward to hearing you. It's pretty simple. And here are a few important notes about value videos. Again, at the high level, a value video is essentially talking about your prospects' current problems and agitating them. And you're really not trying to solve their problems in the video. And this is a common mistake because it takes your prospects out of that agitated state. And when they're not in that agitated state, they're not going to reach out to you. Okay? So if they're agitated and you suggest a solution, they're way more likely to listen to what you have to say and want to talk to you. So generally, these are just made with slideshows, similar to this training, and then we talk over them with a screen recording software. And here are a few of those softwares. So we always use ClickFunnels to create these funnels because it's super simple. Wistia, which you can upload the value video on, it's free for one video, up to 3 videos actually. And then Schedule Once is what we use for survey softwares. And on the email side, I recommend ActiveCampaign, but you can use MailChimp, Aweber, or any other email automation provider you prefer. As long as it's not ConvertKit, because I hate ConvertKit. But that's just me. Sorry, I just have another sip of tea here. Starting to get parched. Delicious. So for recording the value video, you can use Screenomatic.com, which is pretty cheap. It's like $15, or ScreenFlow if you have a Mac. There's also Camtasia for PCs, but that one's kind of it's expensive. And I just use Screenomatic. And for an example of our value video, you can go to www.affluentattraction.com, and then the actual link is /training, but you'll be able to see the little call to action to watch our training in the top right. But make sure you go after this after this video is over. Now, let's quickly mention discovery calls and strategy sessions because these are huge. Really, this whole purpose of this entire training is to generate these strategy sessions. So, because this is where you actually close them and make money, right? So the purpose of a discovery call is to qualify these people and make sure they're a good fit for your business and to make sure they're not a total weirdo, okay? And you're not wasting your time. And a strategy session is where you dive deep into their business and their current situation, what they're going through right now, their current problems, their current sticking points. You figure out where they want to be, what are the roadblocks that are stopping them from getting there, and then you make an offer on how you can help them. You basically position yourself as the vehicle to getting them to a better future. That's at a very high level. And unfortunately, I can't really cover, I could cover the strategy sessions in this video in depth, but I mean, this video would go on for 2 or 3 hours because there's a lot to it. So again, what about automation? I kind of already mentioned this, but you can use this method to create an email list of people who've watched your value video or at least signed up to watch it, but haven't become a client yet, because most people who do sign up to watch videos don't watch it. So if you're still here, congratulations. So once someone opts in for your value video, the truth is it doesn't matter if they watch it or not. Once they do that, they're more interested in solving their problem. So you can follow up with emails to encourage them to book a strategy session. Again, simple stuff. So we generally recommend, maybe an email a week, or maybe a bit less. It depends on who you're selling to. You could do some people do daily emails once they're in the value video and just completely overwhelm people. We found a pretty good combination is about maybe 2 to 3 a week. So pillar number 3 is your LinkedIn profile. So how to immediately stand out to your ideal prospect and get them interested in working with you. So here's where most people go wrong with LinkedIn. They treat it like it's their resume and then they don't pay attention to it after that. I know this because that's what I used to do. So that's why you need to think of your LinkedIn profile like a sales letter. Okay? Get your copywriter hat on right now. Because the truth is, nobody really cares about you, unfortunately, besides like your mom and maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend. And they really only want to know how you can help them. So let's talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. The following are the main areas you need to focus on in order to optimize your profile. And just use this list as a checklist to see how well your profile is optimized. So there's 7 of them. And here they are: your name, your headline, your cover photo and profile picture, your current position, your experience, your summary, and your recommendations. So these are all parts of your LinkedIn profile you can go find. So let's quickly break down each of them. So your name, this is the first thing people see. So as you see here, it's Ben Byrne, Financial Advisor Marketing. Underneath that, you can see my headline, which is we help financial advisors book meaningful consultations without ads using organic marketing methods, which I've actually changed since then, which I suggest you do, but I'll cover more in a bit. Again, since it's the first thing people see, it needs to hook their attention. And you do that by adding your expertise to your last name. So like your niche and how you help them. Could be Bob Smith, Dental Advisor Marketing, or Sally Joe, Facebook Ads Expert, or I don't know, Frank, why am I so bad at thinking of last name? Frank Johnson, body transformation expert. And just a quick side note, sometimes LinkedIn can be kind of, they don't really like this. And so you might have to screw around with it a bit to get the right name. Because sometimes LinkedIn gives you trouble with this, but it should be fine. So your headline is the next thing people see when they look at your profile. And I generally advise people to either ask a question here or just state your expertise or your offer. For example, a question is, would you like to double your dental practice patients in the next 60 days with Bob Smith, Dental Advisor Marketing? Or, we/I help niche get result using your offer. That's a kind of formula you can use. Or you can also try, we help their niche solve this painful problem using this offer without another painful problem. For example, we help financial advisors book meaningful consultations without ads using organic marketing methods. So like we help niche financial advisors get result, which is more meaningful consultations, without painful problem using whatever the offer is. So it's kind of a hybrid, but that's the idea. So your cover photo can also be used to get people interested in reading your profile and driving them into your funnel. You can go on Canva and just make one right now. But what you want to do is make it clear who you help, and you can even have an offer in your cover photo. So that offer or call to action could be to go watch a video or message you for a free strategy session. This is an old one I used for my Facebook page, Ben Byrne Media. It was, would you like a customer acquisition system designed for you for free? Go to this link to book your free blueprinting session. So it was just a cool kind of offer. It didn't have anything about a niche in there, but that's why this is an old example. So as you can see, it's super simple design-wise, but the main focus is just having a good offer. So your profile picture. Generally, the only rule is you want to have a high-quality picture for your profile. On LinkedIn, almost everybody has the same type of profile picture, I should say, an extremely close up of their face with them smiling in a suit. That's like 95% of people on LinkedIn. So you can kind of copy them, but you're not going to stand out generally. So if you have any cool pictures of you traveling, those usually make good profile pictures. But the main thing here is to just have like a high quality picture of yourself, which you can take with a newer iPhone or Android. You can try to look professional. That never hurts. Your current position and experience. So your current position is another opportunity to position yourself as an expert dealing with your niche. So you can use your experience, kind of like a mini sales letter telling how your service and offer works, how long you've been doing it, and who you specifically work with. So I put an offer in my experience section to book a strategy session with myself or Ryan. And a good rule is the more offers you have in your profile, the higher chance you have of someone actually taking one. Here's just a screenshot of my current experience. So you can see this is kind of like a mini sales letter. So we help these guys get this result through this method. This is actually a somewhat older one, but we're currently offering this thing. Even if you let this no obligation strategy session. So if you or someone you know is in this niche and would like this, just go to this link. So it's simple. Your summary. So your summary does a lot of the heavy lifting for you when it comes to selling your services, and this is really the main thing to focus on. It's once your prospects are hooked in by your name and headline, your summary is what sells them. So think of it like a sales letter where you explain who you help, how it works, why you're better, and then most importantly, what to do next. And remember, it's all about them, not you. So your recommendations. And recommendations are essentially testimonials. So if you're already closing clients and getting results for them, it's a good idea to ask them to write a little blurb about how you helped them and what it was like working with you and what kind of result they got. And you can get people to write you recommendations too. If they can be, people get kind of shady with this sometimes and just get their friends to write them recommendations about how awesome they are. But generally, I suggest you only have real recommendations from real clients. So here are four quick common profile mistakes. My brain's not working. So most people are guilty of at least a few of the following profile mistakes. They don't have a specific niche who they're talking to, which is super common. They just, hey, I do this and I'm awesome. The second one is they don't include enough call to actions throughout their profile because you have a lot of different opportunities to have a call to action. It could be your cover photo, your experience, your summary, your headline. You can have a ton of them. And the third one is it's unclear how they help, or they're using technical language, aka consultant speak, which their prospects might not understand. So I see this all the time, people just using weird words. It's just super, they're just not talking like normal people. And then they're complaining to me how they're not getting clients. I was like, well, it's obvious why, because no one can understand what you're talking about. And number 4 is, again, the profile is all about them and not their ideal client and how they help them. All right, easy stuff. Let's move on. Pillar number 4, content creation. So how to cut through the noise of LinkedIn and command the attention of your prospects. And for further optimizing your LinkedIn profile, after you do all the profile stuff, the next thing to do is start adding content. And there are 2 types of content you can post are articles and normal posts. So articles are kind of great for longer form content, kind of like a blog, and posts are good for shorter form content. Posts are what you kind of want to do every day, and then articles you can do maybe once a week or something like that. If you have, or you can just have a few articles, and if they're really well written, that also works. Again, make sure you add a call to action to everything you do, which is to either watch a value video you created or to reach out to you for a 15-minute discovery call. And here's what not to do. So a common mistake with people posting content is they just post irrelevant stuff on their profiles. Financial guys are notoriously guilty of this. Like they always post stuff about like the NASDAQ or whatever. Like, oh, the Dow Jones it gained 10 points today. Then they're just posting this stuff. Or some of them post like recipes and stuff. I'm like, man, like this is so irrelevant that what you're doing is you're training your connections to ignore your posts. Okay? So here's what you want to do instead. Here's how we create your ideal message. So right now, think of your current prospect, their current situation. What are they currently facing? Like, what's their daily life like? Where are they at right now? Where are they stuck? What are their painful problems? That's their current situation. And then everyone has a desired situation. So, and between these 2 points, you have a message. So your message should generally target someone talking about their current situation. And then you talk about where they would like to be. And then basically you position yourself as the way to get from where they are to where they want to be. So here's a way we can do that. And this is a milestone framework, and 100% all the credit for this goes to Frank Kern. That's where I originally learned this from. But this is a great way for developing your messaging and your content. Let's take this LinkedIn training example. So right now, Actually, on the next page, I'll show you. Okay, so using this training itself, I actually went ahead and broke down the milestones it would take you. Let's say right now you can't get clients from LinkedIn, you're confused, overwhelmed, you have a lack of clarity. And by the end, you are getting clients from LinkedIn, you're happy, you're making money, and you're focused. Okay, so what you want to do is you break down the major things that have to happen before they can get to that desired situation. So let's say the first one is they choose a niche. The second one is they create their funnel. The third one is they optimize their profile. The fourth one is they create their content. And then the fifth one is the organic outreach plan. And if you haven't noticed, these are the 5 pillars that I created for this training. All right. So here's how you implement it. So once you map out your milestones, you want to choose like 4 or 5 that will give you prospects a significant boost towards their desired situation. And for each milestone, you write down maybe 3 to 4 action steps to take to achieve that milestone. And then you can basically write posts detailing the overall milestone and how it will help them. And then you include action steps. And then you can also switch this up and record videos on the subject if you prefer to be on camera instead of writing all the time. So here are a few principles of compelling messaging. So nobody's buying a product or service. They're buying a transformation or an outcome or a result. But more importantly, they're buying a new and improved future. Well, nobody really buys like a shittier future. But most people, on the other hand, talk about their products or services. And that is why literally 99% of people suck at basically writing ads or for writing compelling content, is because they're not talking about the right thing, which is their desired outcome. So the more you talk about their current situation and their desired situation, and then you stretch the distance between those 2 points, the stronger the agitation will be in this person, the more they'll want to solve this problem of theirs. So when you position yourself and your offer as the vehicle to get them from where they are to where they want to be, that's how you really start, attracting a ton of people to your offers. So what type of content should you post besides this? So we kind of create a mix of content, which we post every single day. And here's what it looks like. So it could be personal, which is like travel pictures. Maybe it's a few funny things. I don't post very many funny things on LinkedIn, but you can also post a lot of client success stories and testimonials. You can post your thoughts or opinions on the niche. You can talk about current problems the niche is facing, which is a big one. You can talk about the future of the niche. And you can also comment on different topics that if you know there's certain influencers in this niche, you can make comments on what they're talking about. Maybe they're right or wrong, maybe you agree or whatever. And then also you can post curated content where you just repost relevant stuff that's also helpful for them. So what you want to do is get disciplined. The most important thing you do is make sure you post something relevant to these people every single day, because consistency is critical for this entire process. So don't forget to remind them to watch your value video or reach out and book their call. And here's just a way to get more reach with your content. So one thing you want to take advantage of is LinkedIn's hashtag system. So at the bottom of your post, you can include 5 to 10 hashtags, which your ideal client might be looking for. If you go to your LinkedIn homepage and look to the left side of the screen, you'll see there's a thing that says followed hashtags with Discover More underneath it. You can click Discover More and look for suitable hashtags with a lot of followers, again, which your ideal client might be looking for. And then just add those hashtags to your post. And then another thing that's just smart to do is what I call smart commenting. So be sure to comment on people's posts and articles in your niche, the people you connect with. And this is a good way to drive interest to your profile, not just from the person that you commented on, but from people who he's connected with who see that comment and they're like, oh, this guy looks smart, let me check him out. So how important is actually content on LinkedIn? So I would say roughly 80% of your results are going to come from direct messaging and connecting with clients, which is what we're going to cover in Pillar 5. 20% is going to come from continually showing up and providing valuable content, from commenting and doing all the stuff we just covered. You could in theory, just completely ignore creating content, but I feel like you'd be missing out on a lot of potential sales down the road. So let's cover pillar number 5, direct outreach. Connecting with and messaging your ideal clients to build your network, and more importantly, book strategy calls. So connecting and messaging. Now that your profile is ready to go and you've got some content created, you need to start connecting with your target market and messaging them. So we recommend writing 2 messages, which is one is for connecting, and then the other one is for following up once they connect with you. You want to have a strategy in place for following up. And here's a sample of what we're saying. This is a connection message. So these are usually very simple, and often you don't even really need to write one, actually. And generally, we're going to say something along the lines of the following. It's like, hey, whatever their first name is, I noticed you're a niche, and I figured it made sense for us to connect. So we're doing some awesome things right now to help this niche get whatever the result is, and if you're open to it, let's connect. And you sign off, like, bet. So like, hey, John, I noticed you're a financial advisor and figured it made sense for us to connect. We're doing some awesome things right now to help financial advisors get more high net worth clients in just 30 days. If you're open to it, let's connect. Bet. Okay, or where it says, I noticed you're a niche, you can say, hey, I noticed you're, and then just write something about them that you see in their profile. Like, I noticed you're the president of XYZ company, or I noticed that you're living in Jackson, Florida, or whatever it is, And then your connection follow-up message, as the name implies, you send this message as soon as they connect with you. And it goes along the lines of this. So like, hey, Bob, thanks for connecting. So here's what I do. So I help you get results, and you can kind of explain a bit how it works here. Like, what I do is I help, I hope coaches and consultants get more clients from organic marketing methods. And if you want, we can hop on a 15-minute call to see how it would work for your business. Like, when's a good time for a 15-minute call? Ben. So this idea here of direct versus indirect messaging. So when we're doing direct outreach, as the name implies, we can be either very direct or indirect. So those messages which I just showed you are very direct. So you're right to the point, going for the call right away. And what it does is it's going to optimize our time and weed out only the most serious prospects. However, being indirect can work too. So when you go indirect, you typically start off by asking questions about them. Well, actually, you start off by giving them a compliment and then asking questions about them, about their business, or if you're selling, if it's not about your business that you're selling, say if it's about their, say you're trying to help people lose weight, you can ask them about something along the lines of that, like their weight loss goals or something like that. And then you basically steer the conversation towards how you can help them. So other types of follow-up messages. So here are a few other things you can say or do when you connect with someone. You can ask them a question about their ideal client and how they're currently finding them. Or you can ask them a question about their current situation if they're interested in even fixing it. You can also send them a free resource to help them, which is like a PDF if you made one, an article, or a video. And those both work. But as you can see, these are super simple messages, but you still should tweak them every 100 messages or so, especially if, say, you send out 100 requests and you're only getting 2 people connect with you. You definitely want to tweak this, because that's either a problem with your message or your profile. Have a quick sip of green tea here. My throat is just burning. Delicious. Okay, so let's quickly mention tracking here. It's important to track your leads through LinkedIn. So I just open up a Google Sheets tab and make a tracking sheet. So it has the date, your lead's first name, last name, when you connected them with them, when you sent your connection follow-up message, their response, whether you booked a sales call and close them, and any other notes you might want to add in there. But it's pretty simple. You don't put too much brain power into this. You just want to track the stuff. And you can also set up follow-up dates here, which can be 3 days, a week, etc. I had a guy back in January who said, hey, I'm down in Florida until April. can you follow up with me then? I just followed up with him like a week or two ago, and he was like, oh, hey, like, I'm surprised you even remembered me. But yeah, just because of this sheet. Okay, so let's talk about creating synergy. So the beauty of the system is you'll start adding a lot of momentum the more you do it. And as your network grows and you're sending out these connection messages, explaining how you help people, you're going to get a lot of people looking at your profile. They're going to be like, who is this guy or girl? You know, like, what are you all about? They're going to be consuming your content and opting in for your value video. They're going to be going through your whole thing. They're going to be Googling you, and basically, you're going to create a lot of interest. You're going to be stirring the pot, so to speak, in your niche. So the key is to make sure you keep at this process for at least 3 months consistently every single day. And when you're doing this, you're going to be getting clients along the way, but the more you do this process, like, it's weird. It's hard to explain, but everyone who does this process for, 1, 2, 3 months, they all say, like, you get these people who you added, say, in week 1, who in like month 3, they're commenting to you and like, wow, okay, like, they've been consistently seeing you post on LinkedIn. They're like, okay, I'm finally ready to talk to you, That's why we keep at this. So luckily there are softwares to make connecting super easy. So that's what we'll cover right now. So when it comes to using LinkedIn, first of all, you're going to have to upgrade to LinkedIn Premium, simply because they limit how many people you can connect with if you're using the free version. You're going to want to get Sales Navigator. It costs about $70 a month, but it's 100% necessary, and you can even test drive it for a free month. So you definitely need to take advantage of Sales Navigator to use with the next software I'm about to mention. So the second one is called LinkedIn Helper. Right now, LinkedIn Helper, it lets us reach and message 100 people per day. And it's awesome because it does the heavy work of connecting and messaging people for you. And the only real downside is you need to keep your browser open while it works, and it costs about $15 a month. And how it works is it simulates like a real person who would like search profiles. It scrolls through their profile and then writes out your connection message in real time. And it's like an email thing where it says, hey, like, you have a little button where you can press where it will go for their first name, for example. And be like, hey, John, it'll just write out your message. And it does this for about, it can connect with up to 100 people per day. So for less than $100 a month, you're going to be getting in front of hundreds of your ideal clients. Like, if you think about it, if every single person connected with you, that would be 3,000 of your ideal clients per month that you're connecting with. So like, this is way less expensive than almost every other method out there. And yeah, I literally just explained how it works. But there is another interesting strategy you can employ with your LinkedIn Helper, and that is to set it to auto visit the pages of people in your niche. So as you might know, in LinkedIn, when someone looks at your profile, you can see that, and then it'll say like, so-and-so looked at your profile. And if it says like Ben Byrne, financial advisor marketing, looked at your profile, and I'm looking at the profiles of financial advisors, they're going to be like, oh, who's this? And they're going to check out my profile, and then they're going to read my shit, and then they're going to be like, oh, wow, this guy looks like he can help me, and they're going to get interested in my funnel. They might go through my value video, or they might reach out to me. You never know. So that's another interesting strategy you can try, which, full disclosure, I'm still testing that to see how well it works. I definitely think you should try it. So here's the best part about all this stuff. When you've been doing this for a while, and you'll really start to understand your niche at a deep level, which it's really hard to do any other way besides calling them every day. So you can use this information to create way more compelling organic content and eventually Facebook ads if you want to. So a goal is to take your income from organic methods and then reinvest it into advertising to really grow your business when you're ready to do so. But that, even though you want to reinvest into advertising, it doesn't mean you ever stop doing organic outreach. Even if you're spending $100,000 a month, for example, on Facebook ads, you still want to do this a lot. Okay, so here are your action steps. The first thing you're going to want to do is completely revamp your LinkedIn profile if you haven't done so. So you can check out mine for inspiration if you want to. Don't copy it word for word. Next, you can create a content schedule. And this is the content you'll post every single day, designed to stimulate your niche and get them interested in your offer. And work out your milestone methods too. And if you need to see that again, go back and watch the video after this. Third, get LinkedIn Premium, Sales Navigator, and get LinkedIn Helper, because you can get free trials of both. And start adding as many people in your niche as you can. Write up a short connection message and a follow-up message, and then be sure to test it every 30 to 50 or maybe 100, every 100 people or messages to see if you can get improved responses. And don't forget to track your progress. And here's how to get the most out of this process. Many people think this system is too simple and they want something more complex. And that's a trap to fall into. So don't try to make simple things more complex. This system works, but you need to continually stay on top of LinkedIn prospecting every single day. And again, LinkedIn Helper really helps you with that. What you want to do is go ahead and block out 1 to 2 hours every day where you focus on everything involved in this training module. This training. If you're only messaging people, 30 minutes a day should be fine. If you're writing content and stuff, 1 to 2 hours a day is usually more likely. So if you do this every day, you'll build momentum very quickly and you'll start getting people on sales calls fast. And this is the exact system my clients and I use to consistently generate sales calls. And now that you know what to do, I'm going to show you how to do it. So currently I have 2 ways I can help you. So the first way I can help you is by taking over your LinkedIn outreach personally. So generally this works on a commission basis where you pay per client or lead. And I really only take about 3 clients max at a time for this, and it's entirely dependent on your offer niche. And the second way I can help is the 5-week coaching program that I'm currently hosting with Ryan. And that's where I work with you to develop everything we mentioned in this training. Plus I help you develop your sales scripts, for your strategy sessions, your messaging content, your follow-up systems, your value videos, and way more. We go into depth on this stuff. And if you go through this coaching, my guarantee to you is even though it's only 5 weeks long, if you choose to invest with us, I'll personally guarantee you sign at least 3 clients from our method. Okay, so if you don't within the first 90 days, Ryan and I will work with you until you do. That is our guarantee. So if you're interested and you think you'd be a good fit for either service, here's what you can do next. Go to calendly.com/benburmedia/organic and book your free strategy session. There you're going to see a short survey form asking some non-intrusive questions about your business. We're going to ask you, what are you currently offering, who are you offering it to, and what is your price point? That's it. So during the call, I'm going to ask you a few questions, see if you're a good fit, and if it makes sense for both of us, I'll explain how both of the offers work a bit more. And then you can use this call to ask me any questions you might have about your LinkedIn organic outreach too. And by the end of the call, you can either say yes and become a client, which is awesome, or no. And either way, it's fine with us. This call is designed to help you. So again, that LinkedIn is here. It's calendly.com/benburnmedia/organic. And because my time is limited, I can't really spend all day on these calls. So I generally only book about 5 per week. So if you're interested and you're ready to ramp up your lead generation, start rapidly growing your business, go ahead and book your call now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I have to take a sip of water now because my throat is just burning. But again, here's that link. It's calendly.com/benburnmedia/organic, or just go ahead and reach out to me. Send me a private message on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever you can find me. All right. I'm easy to find. All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.